everybody. I hope you guys this week is getting off to a good start. Today is Monday when I'm recording this, and we had our third homeschool group workshop. I don't know what you call it, but I've been inviting any moms over that want to go through some Charlotte Mason DVDs that I have with me. So today we did Learning with Books was the DVD we did today, and we had 4 moms besides myself here today, 2 new ones, and so that was Katie. Hi Katie, in case you're watching, and my sister Amy came today, and then 2 of our ladies were not able to be here this week, but still between us we had 16 kids in the house today, and they had lots of fun making new friends today. So that's what we did this afternoon. Then my sister stayed over and we visited for most of the afternoon, which was really nice. I enjoyed that. Also today I did a clothes inventory. I meant to bring in my paper here, but I forgot. So last year sometime, last fall I suppose it was, I was trying to figure out how to get my shopping cut back to just going once a month so that I wouldn't be spending so much time shopping, and it turned out to save us a lot of money too. And one of the things that I wanted to do was reduce my clothes shopping. So instead of every month picking up stuff that we needed that had just cropped up, I decided to try to go 6 months without buying any clothes for anyone. So last fall I made like an inventory sheet that showed like a red shirt for everyone, an orange shirt for everyone, so all the colors, and then it had a little spot for me to check each person, and everyone need to have 2 pairs of pants and underwear and socks and a winter coat and hats and gloves and all those kinds of things. So then, and I also did one for spring and summer clothes. So I printed that out today, the spring and summer one, and I kind of went through everybody's stuff to see what we needed to make it through the next 6 months. And I did actually go shopping before the 6 months was up because we needed stuff for Easter, and that was going to come up before my shopping trip. But that's the only thing I bought. So we almost made it a whole 6 months, which I was pretty proud of because I wasn't sure if I could do that, but it's actually worked out just fine. So this coming week I will be going and picking up all the stuff that we need when I do my regular once a month shopping trip, except for we did something today, which was order shirts for Tom and Thomas. Tom gets shirts that are imprinted with his logo and his name on it, and since Thomas has been working in Tom's office, we decided to go ahead and get him a whole new set of shirts too that will have his name and our business logo on it. So we got all those ordered today, and that was a big chunk of money, but it'll actually probably be a couple of years before we do it again. So I think it was like $475 to get 26 new shirts, and that's not the kind of money I normally spend on things. Last time I actually went to some secondhand stores, and I decided I'm not going to do that this time because just shopping at Walmart I feel like is as good of a deal as I would get going to secondhand stores, and it's a lot easier. So I'm going to skip secondhand shopping this time and just stick with what I can get at Walmart, and what I don't get in the store I will probably order online. And I was already looking, and they had a deal where you could get 4 polo shirts for $16 I think, and they don't even have to be the same color or sizes. You can pick anything you want. So I was looking at that, and they didn't have some of the colors and some of the sizes. So I decided that I would first go to the store and get everything I could there, and then hopefully fill in anything I can't get on the website. So I have budgeted $100 a month for clothes. So every month when I do pay my bills, I've been putting aside $100 in the savings account so that when this day came, I would have money to spend. And of course, with doing the shirt order for Tom and Thomas, that's going to put me over budget. but I will just use some of my grocery money to make up the difference. And then next time we won't need as much because, like I said, that order is not going to happen again for probably 2 years at least. So they'll just be wearing those shirts for a long, long time. And Thomas, I went ahead, he's kind of wearing a medium in men's right now, but I went ahead and we ordered larges because I know he'll keep growing and we want him to last a good long time and it'll be fine. So that's what we did today. And then for the girls, I've already been looking through my stash of fabric. You can see it back there. To see what I have already that I might be able to make some skirts and dresses for them. So I do see that I have a couple of different orange fabrics that I've got enough of that I can make stuff for them. So I probably will not be ordering at least any orange clothes for them. So it'll take me a while. They'll have to still wear their old stuff until I can get it all done, but it'll happen eventually. Let's see, I got my notes here of what I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll just jump right into my big topic. One of the things that came up today with the other homeschool moms was we were talking about our kids playing tablets, and one of the moms was talking about how she wanted to reduce the amount of time she was letting the kids play, but it's kind of hard when you've already given them a lot of freedom to cut back. And so my discussion isn't specific to tablets, but just the idea of what you do when you've headed down the wrong path and you've changed your mind about something. And I've been down that way a lot of times, and so I put some thought into it today, and I'm going to share my thoughts about it with you guys, and you can take it for what it's worth. I am so not an expert on anything, but I just like to think about it and figure out what I think and then share with you guys because I like talking. So here we go. So my thoughts on when you discover that you're heading down the wrong path and you changed your mind. The first thing, obviously, number one, is to admit that you're heading down the wrong path, because otherwise you'll just keep going. And so obviously it's you admit to yourself that, and maybe even if it's something that you need to pray about or whatever, you'll do that. But I want to say specifically admitting to your kids that you've been going down the wrong path, because a lot of times I feel like we don't talk openly with them about what's going on, and it causes more conflict than is necessary. So like with this issue of tablets, or in my house, we had to do this one time with chores because I felt like there's a part of me that felt like I was the mom, so I should be doing all the chores. Later, I realized that's silly, and I had to admit to my kids that I have been thinking the wrong way about this, and apologize to them for letting it get to a point that it's going to be difficult now for them to change because I've let the wrong habit take place and get ingrained there. And so it's admitting to them that I made a mistake and I need to correct it. And because I let this happen, it's going to be painful for all of us, but it's got to be done. So that's kind of what I mean when I say admitting your error, not just admitting to yourself, but admitting it to your kids. And I think a lot of times it's really helpful. And I also want to train them to admit their own mistakes. And I think they actually do a pretty good job of that, because we do openly talk about when we went the wrong way and now we need to fix it. And you are where you are. Just might as well get over it and move on. So the next step I was thinking was to then make a plan. And for me, a lot of times I get really overwhelmed with just life. And I know that a lot of times it's my hormones. Certain times of the month I can't handle things as well as I can other times. But when I'm having one of those days where I feel like everything's all wrong and I am totally overwhelmed and I'm crying my eyes out about whatever it is, I'll just sit and I just make a list of every single thing that's bothering me. And big or small, whatever it is, I write it all down. And somehow just doing that releases a lot of the power that it has over me. But then when I look at it, I'll think to myself, okay, I'm not going to fix all these problems. It's not going to happen. But if I could fix only one of them, what would be the thing that would make me feel the best to deal with. And I usually pick one, and then I might pick up to three. So I get my top three, and I ponder those top ones and try to decide what would be the best way to make this happen in real life. And once I've come up with my plan, let me see, I don't want to miss anything. Alright, yep. Once I've come up with my plan, I try to put the plan in place and actually start doing it. And this is where it can be difficult, because especially when it's involving your kids and having to correct the wrong thing that you've been doing, it's not just you that has to fix it, it's all of you together. And if you've already been honest with them about the fact that you've let it get out of hand the wrong way, you can acknowledge with them the fact that they're not going to probably like what's going to happen, because they've been allowed to get into the wrong habits, and it's going to be painful for everybody. And you can be compassionate about that. Be full of grace. I guess that'd be number 4, is being graceful with them. And I always think about the fact that it says that God's mercies are new every morning, and that every day He's merciful, and we get a do-over. And being that way with your kids, knowing that this is going to be hard, and it's not just their actions that are having to change, but their heart attitudes are having to change, and that's even harder than your actions. But being full of grace and compassion. And one of the things that I think is really important is, once you've told them what the new plan is and how it's going to go, that after that first day, you come to the end of that first day, and it's probably going to be a rough day, sitting down with them and letting them express how they felt about how things went. And I always tell my kids, actually how this started was when we got a new van, and we'd had a nicer van, a minivan that was like, had all these fancy things, like the doors open by themselves, and leather seats, and built-in TV, and all that kind of stuff. And then we outgrew minivans, and we had to get a big van, and the big van's old and doesn't do anything exciting, and it has dents in it. And I just remember talking with the kids, there's going to be things we like and things we don't like, but we'll get used to it. And we use that phrase all the time now, and I think that applies in this case. When you get to the end of your first rough day, of asking the kids to tell you the things they didn't like about it, the things you didn't like, and just listen sincerely with compassion about the fact that change is difficult. And then help them find the things that they did like about the new way, because there's always going to be something positive that you can find. And helping them get in the habit themselves of looking for the positive side is a good thing. And it starts with, if they can't come up with anything, you can start saying for yourself what you found to be good about the new system, whatever the new thing is. And a lot of times, if you're talking to them like real people, not like you're just bossing them, but just, as you would talk to your friend about how it went, you'll find, I think, that they'll start coming around and expressing their own ideas about what they liked about the day. And then go back and remind them that even though it was a rough day, it's going to get better, and they're going to get used to it. And everyone's going to get used to it. It's not going to be the end of the world. Life is going to go on, and pretty soon the new way is going to just seem totally normal, and everybody will be happy and fine, and it's only going to be hard at the beginning. And number 5 is remembering that people aren't machines. And this is something I had to really come to terms with, because I think there's this idea that you put the right program into the computer and it does what you want it to do. And so we kind of treat people the same way. Like, if you tell your kids this is the new system, then you expect that it's just going to go that way. And it doesn't go that way at all. They're real people. They're not machines. They don't just operate the way that you put in the operating system and there they go. They have their own feelings about things and their own ideas, and they might even be rebellious about whatever it is. And I think even for our own selves, even when we come up with something that we want for our own purposes, I mean, whether it's getting up earlier in the morning or whatever it is, we come up with it ourselves and we still don't do it. So having that compassion and that acknowledgement that your children are people, not machines, and being a mom isn't coming up with a perfect program to make perfect kids. It's being a guide for life, through life, for your kids, and treat them as best as you can. We all have our moments, but treating them like a person, not an object that is to be shaped and formed, but as a person who is to be loved and shown the truth with, and or to, or however you want to say that. But as you're going along, and obviously things are not going to be perfect, you're evaluating hopefully this whole time, and maybe you're going to come up with the conclusion that my new system isn't working and I need to do something else. And so then what you do is just sit them down and you say, okay, this isn't working. Sorry guys, let's try this again, and maybe get some input from them about what would work better, and help them become part of making some of the decisions. But always in the back of your mind knowing, or outwardly even knowing, that you're still the one that's making these decisions, but you want to have their input too, because you don't want to just lord over them. You want to help them learn self-control or whatever it is that you're doing. And once you kind of evaluated, then you're going to make adjustments. Maybe you're going to start from scratch with some whole new thing. Maybe it's just a few little things that need tweaked, and it'll get better. But at my house, nothing ever is the same from month to month almost. Even small things. The way we do our chores, for instance. Right now I have a list on the refrigerator, and they just initial as we go down the list. Whoever comes next, they initial that they're going to do that. But we've done chore packs, and we've done, I used to have a little file card system where they would take file cards out that had jobs on them. Or we've done little, I think I even have that on one of my videos. At the beginning of this school year, we were doing like laminated checklists, and they each had their checklists and things. And it always changes, and a lot of times it changes just because we get bored with the way things are, and it's fun to spice it up and do something different. But changing your mind is okay. And when you change your mind about whatever it is, you find out this isn't working, or it's not working anymore, or I've headed in a direction I didn't want to go, then you just admit it to your kids, and you're in this together. You guys are living life together. We're living life together. And that one of the best parts about being a parent is your kids are learning from you about what to do when they find themselves in this exact same situation. When they find themselves heading down the wrong path, you want to teach them the steps to go through to change themselves. And so being open with them, I guess, and showing them how it's done is always going to be a positive thing. So that is my tips for today. If you like my videos, go ahead and click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. I'm going to try, we'll see how it goes. My goal is to do these kind of just chat videos, have them out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings, and then on Mondays and Fridays to have a different kind of video. Like yesterday I put out a video, or actually this morning I guess it came out, but on an herb thing. And then this Friday hopefully I will have our trip that we took to see the baby calf, one of our day in the life videos out. So my goal is Mondays and Fridays to have kind of a special video, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays have one of these chat videos. So we'll see if I can pull this off. But check back tomorrow or subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Bye.